Here's a great finger-busting stretching exercise for your left hand, written by Hahn. It's in 3 exercises, so I'll demonstrate each exercise for you. I'm going to play them on a Strat guitar. Now, before I play this, I want to point something out. A Stratocaster is a 25.5-inch scale. Paul Reed Smith is 25. A Gibson's 24 3/4. So obviously, these will be a whole lot easier on those shorter scale instruments. Keep that in mind when you go to practice these. The first exercise starts with a C major 7. And then if you think in terms of voices, which is really the way you should, each voice is a string, and they're numbered from the highest to lowest in pitch. So in this case, each voice corresponds with that numbered string. What you're going to do is move the high B down to a B flat. So you move the first voice down. That made C major 7 turn into a C7. Then you move the second voice down. Now you have C7 flat 5. Then you move the third voice down. You have a C minor 7 flat 5. And then you just repeat that process. So see how it was really quite patternistic. You just move each voice down. Then you can repeat it and walk your way down. Obviously, it's going to turn into a massive stretch, perhaps impossible in the lower frets. But practice this all over. Now, the second example involves even more voice leading, and it's a little more radical. You'll see I'm leaning quite over the guitar. I'm holding it classical style. I've got my left foot up on a footstool. And you start with the D major 7 chord. Then we drop the first voice down. That gave us D7. Drop it down again. We have a D6. Now we will move the second voice down. That's a D6 flat 5. You could think of it as an E9 without a root, or a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, a B minor 6. A lot of different names for that. Okay, and then we're going to move down once more on that second voice. That gives us a G major 7. Now, that's pretty radical, but you can get it. Then we start moving the third voice down. Okay, so I'm going to have to really put my chin right on the horn to execute this. And you end up with this C sharp minor 7 flat 5, or an A9 without a root. So that's a really good finger exercise. And you know, you might say, well, I'll never use these. Well, right here you have a close voicing second inversion G major 7 chord. We as guitar players get used to hearing things according to what are comfortable voicings. But you know, these real long voices like this, you know, it's real good. I just played a bunch of G major 7 close voicing, just like you would on the keyboard. But it enables us to get some different sounds. The big challenge isn't just playing them, getting them clean. It's playing them in tune. Now, on this guitar, I have 9.5s. So that poses a real problem when you're playing these kind of chords, because there's a tendency to pull them a little out of tune, you know. Now, you might say, well, let's just turn the chorus on and hide all that. And indeed, that might work for you. But once you learn how to play the guitar, then you want to start working on playing it well. And after you can do that, then you want to really try to get to where you play it in tune, because that's just an ongoing battle for the rest of your life. And our final exercise here, we're coming up, moving voices up. We'll go down here to a G major 7. Move your fourth voice up. Move your third voice up. Your second voice. And then you're back to a major 7. So you see how this works? When you play these, make sure you're holding the guitar in classical style, and it's important that the fingerboard is perpendicular to the floor. If you're holding it like this, you say, well, I want to see what I'm doing. You're fighting a losing battle because your hand is way underneath like this. So I'm actually leaning forward, and on some of these radical stretches here, I've got the body of the guitar is actually inclined, so it's not perpendicular. I'm actually leaning forward. And keep that in mind, you know, when you practice these things. You don't see pianists play with the piano way out like this. Put the instrument where you can play well. Even though it might look neat to play it near your knees, it's not going to help you play these stretched out passages.